get ready to uncover what the world of San Sequoia from the Growing Together expansion pack offers. And this world has 3 areas and a total of 12 lots. Let's start out in my favorite area, being Gilbert Gardens. And no, I am not over the fact that the park here was once owned by someone called Gilbert Gilberts. The name is both giving me life and a lot of stress at the same time. This is a rather beautiful area that focuses on a central lake separated into 2 areas by an adorable wooden bridge that runs across it. While you can't swim in the smaller section, you will be able to go for a dip and swim around the larger area. And there are ducks. You can totally swim with the duckies. Big win. There are also 2 fishing spots connected to this lake, one of which is on the little shorefront inlet around the smaller lake or pond section, and the second is located on a small wooden platform that overhangs the larger section. Now there is a lot going on around this lake, with various little places to sit and statues to look at. There's even a plant that looks like it's the Woohoo Bush's cousin, but offers no saucy moments. Perhaps most interestingly though is the water park, which Sims can visit and have fun playing in, increasing their fun need and often providing happy moodlets as well. It's a great area for younger Sims to socialize with and get to know other kids, or even for adults to embrace their inner child on a hot day. Even at night, the water park will be illuminated, and there is a bathroom right nearby too, presumably to deter people from sneakily peeing in the water park. We love smart planning. If you head a little behind the water park, then there's a small green area with some empty space. And this can be a great location for some DIY fun. For example, you can bring a sleeping bag here to sleep under the stars, or even set up a tent here if you have access to them, either from the outdoor retreat, Batu, or Snowy Escape packs. Now let's venture diagonally across the lake, where you'll find more places to sit, relax, and hang out right by the swimming entrance to the large section of the lake. And more importantly, right beside this you'll find a gorgeous arboretum, which I admittedly had to look up the meaning for, and it's a botanical garden for trees. Really, who doesn't love a tree? Now this area is absolutely stunning visually and has some truly gorgeous locations that make me want to take photos everywhere. I did feel a little cheated that I couldn't enter the large window-paned building in the middle of the arboretum though. I mean, my sim had to settle for sitting outside on the bench, which was simply not as cool. Now the arboretum is one of the 3 walking trails in this area, and Sims can walk, power walk, jog, or take a reflective walk around it. And these interactions are actioned from the trail signs, of which one is located right next to the window-paned building. Using the trails can lead to a range of moodlets that are mostly, but not always positive, and Sims who power walk and jog around the area will also train up their fitness skill. On top of this, walking, power walking, and jogging can also be a group activity, and doing this with other Sims is a great way to simultaneously train up your fitness skill while also increasing your social need and growing your relationship with the Sim you're out with. And yes, you can pop infants in back carriers while you walk and even take dogs along with you as well. Now walking around the arboretum is just one of 3 trails in this area. Another trail is around the larger lake section, and the trail sign for this is near the swimming entrance to the lake. Finally, the 3rd trail takes you around the smaller pond section of the lake, and this final trail sign is located near the bridge that divides the lake into 2 sections. These trails can be quite fun to make use of, and you can even find yourself walking with duckies. Honestly, the duckies really do elevate the walking experience. I also want to flag that sometimes I found these trails to be buggy and not work for Sims visiting the area, but on the flip side, they mostly worked fine when my Sims lived in the Gilbert Gardens. It's now time to say goodbye to Gilbert Gardens and hello to Anchor Point Wharf. Here, the shorefront starts off a little bland and concrete-like before transitioning to a more coastline piazza feel, and the buildings along the shore are all cute and brightly coloured. While there isn't heaps to do here, there is a food store that sells a variety of cultural dishes, as well as an anchor statue. And if your Sims hang out around the anchor statue, then they'll gain a happy moodlet for a few hours. Now behind this shorefront area is an artsy kind of square, and aside from some pretty gardens and places to sit, There's also a rather nice looking fountain and a permanently stationed anchor point piano that can be used. This piano is a particularly good place to train up your piano skill, as it provides an inspired moodlet to nearby Sims, and it can further have its emotional aura enabled to give a second inspired moodlet to surrounding Sims. Why is this awesome? Because being inspired is the ideal mood for training up the piano skill, and when inspired, your Sims will train up the skill faster. Now nearby this square or park is what looks like a subway entrance as well as a bathroom nearby. But much more excitingly is that across the road at the back of this artsy square is an interactable movie theatre. By clicking on the theatre, Sims can head to the cinemas alone or with others, and tickets for this rabbit hole activity cost 15 simoleons per person. There are lots of different genres to choose from, including horror, drama, romance, action, children or family, and comedy. The cinema is open 24/7, and watching a movie will often increase your Sims' fun need and leave them with a moodlet too. Often these are appropriate moodlets that relate to the movie genre. For example, feeling flirty after a romance film. But note that not every movie will be a hit with your Sims, and that they can come out with negative moodlets too. Sometimes text-based journeys will appear while seeing a movie, and these can change up how the movie impacts on your Sim, such as potentially making it more or less fun, or by seeing your Sim find objects like frogs. I know, what a wild time with the amphibians at the movies. I was also shocked to find that this is not a Woohoo location. Probably because I'm so used to the Sims team encouraging our Sims to get it on absolutely everywhere. Honestly, this was a slight disappointment for me because sometimes I want my Sims to live a more high-risk, high-reward life, and that's simply not possible at this movie theatre. Overall though, I still really love this from a storytelling angle, and it can be a great spot for Sims to head to on a date. Now let's transition to the final area in San Sequoia, which is Hopewell Hills. This is probably the most basic of the neighborhoods, and it really is just serving outer suburb suburbia. Aside from the roads, green grass, and mostly conformative houses, there's a rather pretty jetty that leads out onto the water here. Sadly, while you can walk on the jetty, the boats here are purely cosmetic, and I did click on every single one with hope only to have it crushed. On a positive note, further inland towards the back of this area is a large pond and a rather nice park. You might have thought, does pond mean duckies? And yes it does. While you can't swim in the pond, you can absolutely cast your line into it and fish. And once again, the Sims team have followed their trend of dividing a body of water with a cute bridge. Honestly, I'm not complaining. Now along the path that frames the pond is a rather large tree stump. I thought this stump would do something. It does not. But if your Sim wakes up one day and decides that they want to see a particularly large tree stump for no reason, then this will have them covered. Most importantly here is the park, and it's equipped with a giant ship as well as 2 monkey bars, and the park is overlooked by a rather grand fisherman statue. Honestly, it's a pretty cute place to head to for some family gameplay activities, but as arguably the main feature in this area, I did want a little more. And with that, we're at the end. That's a look at what the world of San Sequoia has to offer, including its key features and secrets. If you enjoyed or found this helpful, then please subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and have an amazing day. See you later!